To prove ukuthi le nto ngisho correct. Akasukume kusukuma comrades asaba 20. Sukume ngenyawo. What 20? What 20 kwathi kuzo? Yabona comrade. ANC comrade national ithole 40%. National. Meaning NEC lost the country for 40%. In National Executive Committee, Elito Babu Ramaphosa, no Babu Mbalula, lost the country for 40%. They must take that responsibility. Today we are taking our own responsibility, Slotuma, of losing the province to 17%.
So, with or without DA, we believe in Gauteng will be able to form government. But we're saying it with utmost respect. We've always given all parties respect. In fact, we've spoken to all parties, including a party with one seat. But of course, those parties who might not be speaking or engaging our national leaders, we might having different engagements with them. But every other party that is at the legislature is actually agreeing with the ANC, except for now, the Democratic Alliance. And we thought we must come and brief all of you so that you don't think and believe that when DA says they've boycotted this announcement. You can't boycott something when you don't have an agreement.
No, reconfigured. Do you accept this reconfiguration?
Yeah. It's part of the organizational discipline. We have to carry the decisions of the National Executive Committee because the ANC Constitution bestowed powers to the NEC, especially on 12, that it must give directions and instructions to the lower structures. And then once that happens, it invoked Rule 19 of the ANC Constitution in terms of the PC to carry instructions and directives of the National Executive Committee. Then if you're in the PC, if you miss those basic, it means for the first place, we're not supposed to be in the PC.
Micheal Mabuyakhulu, Jeff Hadebe, no Musa Dube Ngube, who is in? So are those the names?
You are not the Deputy Secretary General. It's only the Deputy Secretary General who's here to communicate, not what you say, but what the outcome of the NWC yesterday.
You can't confirm nor deny.
We can confirm that she's here.
Okay, those are the names.
She's here.
Good day everyone and welcome to another epic episode of New Zealand Regime Media, a channel that talks about politics and what is happening. So we know that the ANC have finally decided to disband first and to reconfigure their structures in KZN and in Gauteng. And this has came in with some serious changes, and we saw the likes of Bheki Mtolo being taken out, and we saw the likes of Gauteng Nciza be taken out, and the only person that was safe was Boniso Duma and Panyaza Truth. So what is happening there? Before we jump into all of this, please don't forget you can subscribe to this channel. Remember, you don't pay anything, and you can press the super thanks button and leave your comment on the section below. So Micheal Mabuyakhulu said that this was one of a decision that came up with a lot of argument inside the NEC of the ANC, but it says that finally the NEC gave the best planning to say that this will work for the ANC going to 2026 local government election. We know that it's only 18 months that is left away, but they needed now to bring in the powerhouses, influence the likes of Jeff Hadebe and Micheal Mabuyakhulu. Will these now become an influence, right? We know that in Gauteng, they still need to convince the voters, right, to vote for them back. And in KZN, they need to do the same thing to convince the voters to vote them back to power. The decision to reconfigure the structures follows the two provinces' dismal electoral performance in the 29 May 2024 general election. Although it has since become clear that the structures in the two provinces had in fact been disbanded. KwaZulu Natal is the ANC's largest province by membership, but it was the hardest hit by the rise of the Umkhonto we Sizwe party. The ANC's share of the provincial vote dropped from 54 in 2019 to 16 in 2024. Meanwhile, the ANC in Gauteng province, with the biggest population of about 17 million, saw its share of the vote drop from 50 to 34 in 2024.
So you are guided by the constitution in reconfiguring the thing. I know the buzzword is dissolution, you like, is reinforcement, others like, but overall it's a combination of the two, and then choosing the path of uniting our organization in terms of intervention. And the discussion in the National Executive Committee was robust. It started with the officials. You are right, we did not all have the same view on the matter. In terms of the officials, we did not have the same view on the matter as the NWC. We went to the NEC, and the NEC is the Supreme Court. We did not have a dominant view over the other in the NEC. At the end, we came up with what I've explained to you. So anyone who's going to tell you that there was no point of difference will be telling you a lie, including myself. We did differ. We went to the NEC. The NEC debated and agreed. At the level of the NEC, as the officials, we did not speak. I presented the report on behalf of the NWC that analyzed the situation in the provinces. It was undisputable.
This was so clear that the ANC needed to revamp their strategy and to come up with another plan. So the big question is, will the likes of Micheal Mabuyakhulu and Jeff Hadebe bring in the influence that is needed to win back these provinces? We don't know what their influence, but what we know is that they've been with the ANC for the longest of time. Just to share a little bit of a background. For KZN, Micheal Mabuyakhulu and Jeff Hadebe, as we know that they have returned to politics. Siboniso Duma is now a deputy of Jeff Hadebe, so they brought the old leaders because the young leaders have failed to give the MK party a challenge, right? So Panyaza Truth is no longer exerting that power alone because he's sharing power now in Gauteng, right? Panyaza Truth has been taken because he is a convener or a co-convener, meaning that he's sharing the power with the veteran politician Amos Masondo. The secretarian goes to Hope Babo. He's also a member of parliament. So now the big question is, will Jeff Hadebe bring the necessary influence to take on the MK party in the province of KZN? And will Amos Masondo bring in the necessary change in Gauteng? He served as a member in the Johannesburg 2001 to 2011, making him one of the longest serving members in the city history. He also served as a chair of the national provinces in parliament in 2019 to 2024. Seems like he's a person who is vexed knowledge and knows more about Gauteng because he has been more than 11 years in leadership there in Gauteng. So will he bring the influence? Will he bring in the numbers? Will he change the game coming to 2026? And we know that Jeff Hadebe have been serving and becoming the member of parliament from the days of Nelson Mandela, Thabo Mbeki, Jacob Zuma, until this current administration of Cyril Ramaphosa. And he has been working in the presidency with the leaders there. So will these now elders, leaders, bring the influence that is needed for the ANC to win back these two big provinces? Gauteng may be a small province, but because in terms of number that it is much populated, it has become one of the biggest provinces. But now let us talk about what's next for Bheki Mtolo and TK Nciza. Why they were the target when it comes to the ANC in taking these two out. I want to play different videos. I will start with Bheki Mtolo, then I will come with TK Nciza and hear exactly what made them to be the target of the NEC, of the ANC, to take them out. Let's watch here.
Who keeps 10 million in a sofa?
ifuna ukuyidiscuss, ifuna ukuxoxa ama-legalities. Bike ifuna ukuxoxa ama-legalities, ibizothi, Chief, asifuna ukwazi uba le mali yakho bekutheni uyikhiphe ebhenki, la isafe khona kangaka. Uyikhuphe kwi-safe, uyigcina esofini. You are not part of us.
So, what has made Bheki Mtolo for the ex to cut him out? Now they are normal members, they are no longer in leadership in KZN, they are out. Yes, they are out like that. So, Bheki Mtolo, remember that he's the person who said the blame of the ANC losing KZN must not solemnly rest upon the KZN leadership. Even the leadership, top leadership of the ANC must be blamed nationally. That's what he said. He said even the SG, President Ramaphosa, Gwenamantashe, and those the leaders, they did not invest much there in KZN to challenge the MK party. And he became a target because after that he criticized President Ramaphosa's leadership, saying that President Ramaphosa is the weakest president so far that we have in the ANC, and he became a target. For him, this position was no longer guaranteed. We knew that Mtolo will be going out. Let's talk about now TK Nciza. What made TK Nciza to be out? Let us watch here.
Us and Action SA, us and Democratic Alliance. Even the GNU itself, it's not like that. It's about many other parties. We have engaged many other parties, including Action SA and Democratic Alliance.
Apparently, as Gauteng leaders, you've ignored advice from your national leaders. That's according to Helen Ziller. Is that the case?
You know, DA, especially, I mean, I even had that view today in council. DA is starting to act like a faction in the ANC, and it's very worrying. Because, and I don't understand what is their issue and how do they think they can divide the African National Congress in the province and national. We have never, not even once, worked against our national leadership. Not even once. They use ghost accounts to attack the provincial leadership. They go live and they're emboldened to speak about meetings that they're not part of as Democratic Alliance and say Panyaza and TK Nciza, ANC and the faction. They don't even sit in the ANC.
Is someone not leaking information to them?
If it's leaking, then it's for their own good. The reality is that that's not a fact. I'm saying to you, ANC is not an organization where you can do that. It's not a federal organization. It's unilateral in its nature. That's the African National Congress. There is no provincial leadership that can go against a view of a national leadership. We went and presented 3 weeks ago our view to the National Working Committee of the ANC. The Working Committee, up until yesterday, came and gave us a briefing. And they allowed us exactly the same thing, which today they believe they want to ignore the Democratic Alliance when it comes to the provincial government, provincial unit. What happened there is Comrade Fikile Mbalula, our Secretary General, and Comrade Panyaza addressed the media. And they told them that DA is not coming, we're disagreeing. If we get to a certain point, we'll move. They are ignoring all of that.
So this is typically clear that Temkosi Nciza was not in favor of the GNU. And he was so vocal and telling the DA that you cannot give us these terms and conditions. Who are you? We rather work with the MK party or the EFF. So that was the stance of TK Nciza. He never wanted in any way to work with the DA. Even we know that after some time he accepted that because of the leadership has now formed this GNU with the DA. But now he became the target because he was no longer carrying out the mandate of the top leaders of President Ramaphosa and the SG. Fikile Mbalula, he was no longer carrying the mandate and he became the target because we know that to the ANC, if you disagree with the leaders, they take you out like what they did to Ace Mahashule. But now, what is so interesting is that Panyaza Truth, he was talking about against the GNU, against the DA, saying that they don't want to work with the DA in any way possible. But now the big question is, why was he not taken out? You know, the NEC, the decision that they made, it was very, very calculative. And it was very smart. They knew the influence that Panyaza have over Nciza, and they decided to keep Panyaza because they know that if they take him out, more breakaway will happen, more fictions will hit the ANC. So they need to protect Panyaza as if Panyaza is in their corner. But they are now, I have put people that will monitor him. He's no longer working alone. He's no longer planning alone. They have Ramaphosa's people there just to monitor him and to keep track on him in all his steps. So Panyaza is tamed. He's tamed because now he has people that can even oppose his plannings and decisions there, right? Because you know what the NEC says or does normally? They will just give you people who are in President Ramaphosa's fiction or side just to monitor you and to keep you like that. But so far, we will see the outcome if this was the best plan for the ANC, because what is important, regardless of their fictions, their infight, what is so important is that, according to them, they must regain Gauteng first, and they must regain KZN, so that the ANC will still rise and get that majority number that they used to get back in the years. That's all that we have for today. Please don't forget to subscribe to this channel, and you can support us by, you can leave a comment, but you can press the super thanks button until we meet on the next video, and I'm out.